Hey everyone, Gurky here with Exis, bringing you another King Arthur Legends Rise video. In this video, we're going to do, a unit spotlight and review on our boy Anguish. There's a few reasons why I chose him first. First and foremost, in the last beta, or whatever you want to call it, the last iteration of the game, he was hands down probably the best unit in the game, arguably. Seems like with the new release from Netmarble, he's still there. He still has it all. And, he's easy to get because you get him for free on day 13. Definitely a reroll target for a rare. So we're going to start off with some basic information. He does have a leader effect in Burning Lands and Arena. It grants all allies attack speed up 20%. He is a control unit. And we're going to call it a faction, but he's part of the Steed faction. Okay? So let's go over here and check out his passives. So he has Dian Chet's Blessed. This doesn't start off with when attacking. We'll get there in a second. But he gains effect accuracy increase 2 for 2 turns and gains attack increase 1 for 2 turns. It starts off at 1 turn. His passives are very important to the rest of his skill kit, which we'll get to in a second. His second passive is when using skill 3. If the target has a dot, then it grants dot taken increase 1 for 2 turns. This makes all of his chills do additional damage. This is part of the core kit that he has. All right, moving on, we're going to go over to the relics. We're going to start off with the actual really important one, which is his frost. So on his skill 1, attacks one enemy, does 56% attack, and has a 50% chance to inflict chill for 1 turn. So you can see chill takes damage equal to minus 3% max HP each turn, lowers attack speed by 5%. So chill, like a lot of the other dots, are going to be more effective against bosses and units with a high HP pool. But don't let that scare you away. He does a lot of damage. If you're talking about pure damage, he is top tier, but he's not the best. But overall with his kit, I do believe currently, unless somebody has an equally built other unit that can put out more DPS with the dots and everything, that's going to be my call for now. And as you can see, he gets an extra 30% damage with his skill up, so put him at 86%. Skill 2, Absorbing Throw, attacks one enemy, deals 98% attack plus 4.2% max HP. If the target has dot, steal all of their buffs. This is a skill that is going to be used when you're manually playing. You have to pay attention to the board to see what buffs some of the bosses have. Make sure they can be stolen. But this skill is not going to be used on auto. Going back to it, does an extra 32% damage when you skill it up. Skill 3, Piercing Stab. This is his bread and butter. Attacks one enemy times 5, totaling 180% attack. 50% chance for the last 3 hits to inflict chill for 1 turn. This will put up to 3 chills on him. And as you can see, it goes up to 320% attack with a 75% chance to inflict chill. There's a lot of things that can manipulate these numbers, which we'll get to when we get over to the gear sets, which is next. Again, this is his bread and butter. This will completely decimate most bosses, and then when you do skill him up and he's doing that extra damage, he is going to be pounding the enemy away. Alright, going over to his Flame Relic. It's the same thing as his Frost, except it inflicts burn. The skill 2, same thing as his Frost. And skill 3, attacks all enemies 2 times, totaling 98% damage, 50% chance for each hit to inflict burn for 1 turn. As you can see, it's got a slightly lower, well, a lot lower attack skill, damage increase, but it is an AoE. And his Wind Weapon, same thing as the other one, inflicts bleed. His skill 2, gain effect accuracy increase 2 and attack speed 2 for 2 turns. And his S3 is the same as the fire and is going to inflict bleed. I'm sure there's some applications where you could use his what the hell was that? I don't know what that was, but anyway. But for all intents and purposes, you're going to use his frost. Now we're going to get over into the gear sets. I'm going to give you what my opinion is on the best gear sets to build for this. There are many reasons why I believe the speed set is the best set for him, for his main set. When it comes to the other two-piece set, you have a lot of wiggle room here, because a two-piece crit set, two-piece HP set, or attack set, you're going to get minimal gains on the actual attack, the actual set bonus, whether it's attack or life or whatever. So if you want to build them to do a little bit more damage, put an attack set on them. If you want to be a little bit more efficient with the raw damage when it comes to crits, put a crit set on. If you want to give them some survivability, put a life set on. I mean, you can even put a defense set on them. But what's most important about the two-piece is if the two-piece falls within the the jewelry, the ring, earrings, or necklace, the main stat is going to be what you're going to focus on there, whether it's speed or something else. In my opinion, you're going to want at least one set piece with effect accuracy on it. As you can see, this 6-star blue piece goes up to 31.8%. The effect accuracy is going to assist with his landing of the dots. Another important substat for this is hit accuracy. You want to be able to make sure you can hit the enemy fully, and it'll also help you with the effect accuracy. Another very good main stat to have is attack speed. This is going to bring him up on the turn meter a lot quicker, and the more turns you can get with him, the more chills, the higher the damage, etc., etc. I would have put a second attack speed piece on him for the last slot for the jewelry. I went with attack set here because it was the best piece that I had. Down here for the what is this? The belt, the orb, and the keepsake. I'm gonna go on a limb here, and it's a safe limb. It's a very big, sturdy one. And the corrosion set is going to be the best set to put on him. And if you look up here at the corrosion set, after inflicting dot, inflicts random dot on the target for 2 turns. I'm going to be honest with you, I don't have this unlocked, so I don't know if it's just a single dot that can be added on, or if he procs all 3 or 4, which I'll get to in a minute, if a new dot pops up. I'm going to assume by reading this that it's a single dot, because there is a cooldown of 3 turns on it. But that extra dot is going to do extra damage. Okay? So that is my opinion from playing the previous version and this version. I believe a speed set and then the 2-piece set can alternate. There are other sets that some people are going to believe are better for the effect accuracy and whatnot, but you do want him to be a fast unit. All right, so let's go in here and talk about the chivalry upgrades. Okay, on C1, the Deanne Chet's Blessings activation condition to when attacking. I forgot what it was before. I think it's on like one of the skill uses. This is a pretty big one. It's super easy to get him to a C1. His C2, he gets some effect accuracy. Then this is the one when I said before that it starts off at 1 turn. The attack increase lasts for 2 turns on this. Some HP. Then we get over here to 8. When attacking, there's a 50% chance to inflict bleed for 1 turn. I have not personally noticed that his S3 will proc more than 1 bleed. If somebody's seen it or has like a video showing it, I'd appreciate to see that, because I have not seen that. If we go back out here, for Anguish himself, I don't believe that this is an important factor, but he does have a character link with Isolde And I forgot this dude's name. Let me find him real quick, just so I can speak his name. Where is he? I have him in here somewhere, I think. Really? You're gonna make me waste time on this video? Anyway, oh, there he is. Frederick. So basically, when there's an attack with this S1, there's a 30% chance for Frederick to use co-op, and they use their S1s. And Isolde's S1 on her frost is going to inflict chill. On the fire, it's going to inflict burn. And on the wind is going to inflict bleed. Or there's a chance for it. And then on Frederick, where'd you go, Frederick? So on his fire weapon, does nothing but do some damage. And it seems that it just does some damage. I'm sure there's, you know, if you're running Isolde with her and you have to use Anguish's S1, you know, to build or save stamina or whatever, that's, you know, a possible bonus. Isolde is a very good character, which I'll do a character guide on her. All right, now his team position, where he goes in a team. He is going to be, he's a control unit, but he is going to be a DPS unit. He can be your DPS unit for the entirety of normal. And then when you get into hard mode, he can put out enough damage to clear the entirety of hard mode. But if you want to do the clears within 20 or 30 turns to complete the missions, you will need multiple sources of DPS. Now let's talk about the content that Anguish is good in. Okay, Anguish is good in all content, with the exception of the faction towers, or whatever you want to call them, because you just simply can't use him there. Any enemies that are resistant to dots, which I think there's just one boss, but every other piece of content you can use him in, like the power-up dungeon. He can be used in every single one of these top tier unit, in all of them. Even when he's at an elemental disadvantage at minus 15% damage, is not going to make a significant impact on the total damage that is dealt. It might, you know, prolong the fight for an extra couple turns, or, you know, extra 30 seconds or whatever. But he can be used in all of the content. He's especially good in the Sealed Temple when you're fighting Cernunnos or whatever. Because this is the one where you have to kill the left and the right arms or legs or whatever they are, and then, you know, attack them head on. He does massive amounts of damage in here. Again, you know, you can use him in PvP as well. I'd actually probably put him at maybe like an A or B in PvP, though he does put out damage. The units that you're going to be fighting are going to be built different than the enemies in the game. They're going to have most of the time they're going to have, you know, slightly better resist. And PvP is really more about crowd control than it is about dots and doing damage. You know, there's a lot of units in there that are better. You can still throw them on your team for some damage, but I don't think, you know, after this game has been out for a month or two, I don't think you're going to see Anguish, you know, on the top 10, top 20, top 30 in Arena. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much Anguish in a nutshell. He was my favorite character previously, and I think because of his diversity, I think he's going to be a favorite character for most players. If you have any questions, comment below. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.